What the actual hell happened to Fish? I let it take the back seat in my Roblox catalog for like 2 weeks, and the game just goes to utter shit. They dropped a completely terrible update, in which ruined most of the game's mechanics, introduced broken system which required way too much grinding, like getting to level 750 for completely trash rods that were outclassed by the Trident rod, and broke the game a lot of times. Not to mention the crazy rebalances that have been going on. Usually, when I play a Fish update, what happens is at first, I'm kind of uneasy about it. And then as I slowly complete the bestiary, it's kind of like a progress meter, I slowly become more adept. I'm like, you know what, this is actually a really good update. I didn't like a lot. I didn't like some of it, but I could deal with that. Not with this one. When I played the Ancient Isles update, I'm really close to completing the bestiary for just the first part of Ancient Isles. I almost want to quit Fish. Like, this has deterred me so much. Not to mention the 3 new game passes they just introduced, and the way that the icons are starting to look like one of those like stupid money grabbing simulator games that fall off after 6 months. I don't like where Fish is going right now. Fish is clearly on the brink of an identity crisis, if it isn't already happening. Originally, Fish was a fun and funny small game about fishing up real-world fish in various areas, and then it got acquired by a development team, which, to their benefit, did drop 2 pretty banger updates, and kinda swayed public opinion towards, hey, they're actually not that bad, despite the fact that we probably should have listened to the warnings when the Pressure development team removed the infestation from the game because they didn't like that the game got acquired by a bigger company. But after those 2 updates, they I guess during them, they slowly revealed their greed. Now, I'm not here accusing. I'm just saying that most of the updates that were released after this development team took over have had a lot more unneeded nerfs and changes, as almost if they don't listen to the fan base at all, despite the fact that they say they do with their polls. And they've also had a lot more microtransactions than they did prior, which isn't necessarily malicious, because, after all, they are a team. They do need to make money from Fish somehow. But just because of this last update, the Ancient Isles update, it's nearly clear to me that Fish is about to go down a rabbit hole that all successful Roblox games go down. Greed. We've all experienced it before, and it can be a giant landmine for Roblox games. Metaphorically, of course. Let me explain. There tends to be a cycle with good Roblox games that become popular. Number 1, the game puts out quality updates and attracts a player base large enough to put them on the front page of Roblox. Number 2, they either stay as a small team or upgrade to a larger size to push out more updates. During this time, their income will likely increase drastically, but so does the cost because they're going to probably keep adding more development members. This is where a game could go from a good quality Roblox game to a ploy to get the most money out of everyone's pockets as fast as possible before the game falls off. AKA why this next step is a landmine. Number 3, the game experiences a few rough and overall not liked updates by the most section of the player base who isn't under the age of 13. During that time, microtransactions become increasingly common, eventually being marketed directly to the players upon joining the game. This is when the game will experience a fall off in players over time. Not that big, but enough to be clearly noticed. During this time, the developers will try to save their asses by putting out some updates that, they'll sway the public for a little bit, but eventually it'll just come back to like that they're doing the same thing over again. But in the end, the devs will continue to make more money-based decisions and will continue to release sloppy and low-quality updates in favor for more money. And essentially, after number 3, they start to lose their player base, and one of 2 things that happens to the game is A, it completely dies off, or B, becomes irrelevant, like Pet Simulator X and Pet Simulator 99. Now, in some cases, in some very rare cases, the game could still just stay widely popular because of all of like the 6-year-olds that are playing it. And I mean, at that point, what else can you do? But I do think Fisch is heading in this direction, unfortunately. And let's just take a few examples from the latest update for the slop category here. The Tidebreaker nerf, which nobody asked for and it wasn't needed. I think a lot of people found it goofy that you could just fly into the air at like Mach 10 and go like 300 studs in the air. Yes, I'm using a Roblox measure, shut up. And just go super high. I mean, that was really good for getting to like the brine pool and just using the glider to move around the map. It was fun. There was no need to buff it. A crafting system that requires you to be level 100. Oh my god, level 750 for a rod that is worse than the trident rod. Number 3, things that required for the said crafting system being either the easiest thing to get or a degree of rarity that I need to sell my soul to developers to just to get one, and a lot of times they require like 12. 4, nerfs to rods that weren't needed, like the no life rod. We're getting rid of like the 0.15 or 0.2 that it had. And 5, nerfed Meg's prices to not break the game's economy. I don't know why they did this. There was no reason to get rid of the Meg's prices. Almost everybody already has like $10 million. I don't feel like anybody over like level 200 almost always has like $1 million in their account at minimum, or know a way to get that super easily. So there's no reason to like get rid of the game economy. There's no economy in this game. Like, people spend their money on bait crates and they spend their money on crab cages and gambling, which is just bait crates again. Like, I don't know why. Overall, these useless things, they make me fear for the future of this game. I'm going to say it now. Fisch and its development team have about 2 months to impress me or make me buy my words, and if they don't, I will quit Fisch. Livestream theatrics and all. You have 2 months. Godspeed. I'm Trister Eyes. Thanks for watching.